chapter 1 of module 1. So in this chapter, it is all introductory part, introducing to the network fundamentals. We can say network fundamentals. So the topics covered in this chapter are here more of introductory part. It explains how network affects our daily lives and some security patterns, topology, what topologies are we have in networking. So let's see. So what's the effect of network? Network connects us. So nowadays it is as important as air or food. Sometimes they call it, because you may remember the siege when there was no internet and no connection. It was like hell. So without connection or without network, life is so miserable. So it's as important as air or water. They can say that is. I think it is really important. It is really important. So you can find videos on the online part. Please view or watch these videos. They are important and informative videos developed by Cisco. So no boundaries if you have networks. So globally you can communicate from anywhere if you have network. So network is important in our daily lives. So let's see what are the components in any network. We have what we call hosts. Hosts are in the devices. They originate data and sync. Actually, we can call clients as well as servers. So we have devices as hosts like your PC, laptop, or some devices or mobiles, and you have also some servers. They can save some files, email servers, web servers, file servers. So we access actually these servers. In most of network communications, we access services on hosted on servers. Actually, most of the time, you can call Google, for example, it is a web server. You can Gmail, what we call email server, file servers. You can you can download servers from the internet. So what we have is client server interconnection in most of our networks. So you may have some communications peer-to-peer devices or hosts can be connected one-to-one, but this is a very simple connection, and it doesn't have a lot of privileges. So it has some limitations. It is slower, and it is not recommended for bigger networks. So in normal communication or network, we have got what we call LANs interconnected. So these devices or any device has to be connected into a network so that they can communicate. So local LAN, local area networks are interconnected devices, and they have to use some media to communicate with each other. From one LAN to another LAN, they need some devices to communicate. So we have what we call intermediary devices to interconnect these hosts or in the devices. So the intermediary devices, they have got what we call they amplify the signal in the middle, or they are interconnecting it. They may check some errors and the paths. They can actually identify which path the packet should follow. For example, routing, they have to identify the path, and these tasks are actually done by the intermediary devices like switches, routers, firewalls, different types of switches, multi-level, layer 3 switches are nowadays available. So we have the third one, which is the media. Media is for interconnecting these devices. We have got copper. Copper is normal Cat 5 or Cat 6 copper. Fiber optic is another media, and we may use also wireless Wi-Fi is another media for interconnecting actually between devices in the network. So in networking, we have what we call network representations in the devices which are connected for communication partner, and intermediary devices that interconnect these hosts or any devices, and we need media for interconnecting the intermediary as well as the hosts to the network. So normally we have what we call NIC, network interface cards in devices. So NIC is the RJ45 connector, RJ45 connector in PCs. So that is the physical port, which is sometimes called the physical port, or sometimes they call it interfaces are important for interconnecting. Physically, we need to have these devices interconnected. So topologies, we have different topologies in networking. We can call it physical and electrical. Physical is physical where the devices, especially the intermediary devices, are positioned, especially in racks. In racks, you may have rack 1, shelf 2, blah blah. So you can put it level it with physical devices. And in logical, we group devices based on their network. So in some, which subnet is this device located, or which subnet is this switch, or what we call device located. So we can categorize it using logical, which is actually IP address. Network addressing address representation. So we have different types of networks. Small home is in your home, for example. You may have a network from tele, and then from that ACL interface you may interconnect your device. You may connect your PC or TV. So you may have a small home network, and there is small office. Small office is small. In a small office, you may have some computers interconnected, and you may have some medium to large offices, big offices, and you have that also the worldwide internet, as you can call it, the internet, one area network also. So this is based on the size of the interconnection. So LANs and WANs are. Well, LAN is local area network, small network, commonly in one local area network, or in one subnet or network, and WANs are interconnection of WANs. So interconnection of WANs are you interconnect one local area network with another local area network using one wide area network, which is actually the connection between routers, also commonly called local wide area and network. Local area is small network or in one network, whereas the wide area network is interconnection of, especially if you have one router and another router at the other side, you just interconnect it using wide area network. So the internet is just interconnection of networks. The internet is the interconnection of networks. You have got many standards, the IETF, the ISAN, the international domain, the international community to administer the internet called internet. We have internet connections. What do we use? What technologies do we use, for example, for interconnection? To home or small office, you may use DSL. Cable, formerly in the developed country, in Europe, you may have cable. Cable means that cable we use for television, dish cable, coaxial cable, we can use for internet. Cellular is common in our country. Also, we have got satellite communication. Most of the time, VSAT, we use VSAT in bad situations. We have got also dial-up is almost dead, dial-up network, but it was one common networking for small. We have for business high bandwidth systems, dedicated line or laser line connections are very common. Laser line connections, they are actually leased. No one can use it. Only the one who bought that service can use it. Ethernet one is also very handy for business purpose. Also DSL, the SDSL, Symmetric Digital Subscriber Line, the SDSL part is also commonly used. The satellite, some companies may use, but this is to categorize with home as well as the business connections. But we may use different what we call technologies for interconnectivity. for interoperability. So we have what we call before we were using actually different networks for different purposes. For example, we use the data for example, for internet connections, video using TV, image using TV, or phones, the DSA9 or subscriber 9, which is the IP, telecom networks. But nowadays, these different networks can use what we call the internet, which is called converged. Every data, voice, video, everything can be actually communicated or sent through the internet. That's why we have what we call converged way of communication. You can say the voice over IP and video over IP and data is common. So these are actually converted into one. So if you have internet connection, you can use voice, video as well as data. You can use IPTVs commonly. We in the developed countries especially they use the IPTV for interconnection. Nowadays I don't think we have this IPTV in Ethiopia, but it is a very common in the developed countries. So we have what we call reliable network. Reliability is how reliable the network is. So how fault tolerant. Fault tolerance it can have a tendency. For example, if you want to have a very fault tolerant network, you will have some backup switches or backup links for to safeguard such failures. Scalability. How scalability the network? Scalability means if you want to add or expand your network, it is scalable. Quality of service, sometimes quality of experience is what type of quality do I need? How am I satisfied with the service? Sometimes you just send that email with and get sometimes because of the reliability of the service. Quality of service is important, especially for voice communication or live communications. Quality of service is important. Security is the very important aspect in network architecture. It is critical. Nowadays, we have to use secure communication. If it's not secure, you may lose your business. Especially nowadays, hackers are creating a lot of problems. So security is also another big dimension. So fault tolerance, if one device, for example, if this router is failed, this network can use this link. So you have a redundant or backup link for interconnection. And scalability, for example, if I want to add another network, how scalability? So do I have some interface to interconnect this device? Is it enough or that the data rate or the capacity of this network? Is it capable to expand, for example, to add another network? And quality of service, as I told you, sometimes they call it quality of experience, it is critical. So if you have, for example, phone calls using the data communication, so how reliable should you wait? For example, if you call, you have to get a response as fast as possible. Otherwise, you will be bored. So how fast you are getting the reply and how quality you are getting from these communications is critical. So quality of service is one very important segment. The other is also security critical. So you may have different problems in networks, especially in security aspect. So the three important CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability is critical. Confidentiality is only the intended person should actually see the data. Otherwise, if somebody can see it loses its confidentiality. And integrity is the data should not be changed from the sender to the receiver. So if somebody in between changes the data, the integrity of the data will be changed. Availability. If you want service, you have to get service. So if service is blocked, that is one problem. So CI is important. The confidentiality, integrity, and availability is important. So you may have different
problems in security, it can be network problem, and information problem, or many security problems. I think we will see these problems later in the next chapter. So what is the trend? So we have what we call bring your own device. So you may bring your laptop or mobile to the network or to the company or to your campus. So this is the trend. Nowadays, everybody can bring these devices. So how should the network respond to such kind of scenarios? So you may use video communications. We have got what we call nowadays cloud computing. So beyond bring your own device is actually you just bring whatever device. So you have some viruses in infect the network. So the network has to be ready to actually serve such kind of challenges. So you bring your own device. So you have to bring you can bring your own devices. So how should this network respond to such kind of scenario is important so we have what you call online collaboration. So you may use online videos for collaboration, for communications, for meeting, like Zoom meeting. Cisco uses WebEx for the same to Zoom. So for video communication, so the network has to actualize. So in this case, you need what we call quality of service in such kind of environments for online communications. Cloud computing. Nowadays, you just rent some services in the cloud. So you just host your services, and everything will be handled by the cloud provider. So you can have different types of cloud services: the private cloud, hybrid, or public clouds. So you choose based on the trend or the security you want to handle, or the privileges you get from that cloud. And in this, nowadays you can use actually the power lines for communication, because power line is very noisy. Power line means the copper cable, which is actually used for power transmission. So power uses 50 Hz frequency, which is low frequency, but the communication frequency is high frequency. So we can send these data over the what we call power line. You may use different modulation techniques to actually safeguard the error correction mechanisms, but it is nowadays possible. You don't need to extend additional cables. If you have power cable in the home, you can send the data or information to that. Wireless broadband is very common. Wireless in our area, for example, you use cellular communication for this signal. There are a lot of actual wireless technology like ZigBee, Wi-Fi, and this cellular communications like, for example, 3G, 4G networks are wireless communications for internet connections. Network security is critical, as I told you. Network security can have many threats in the network, in the data. So this security is critical. So we have to use many techniques to actually safeguard. There is no secure system in the world. There is no secure system. You cannot have 100% secure system, but you can minimize it. You can minimize the vulnerability of the system or the security posture or so security threats. You may have different types of viruses, worms, trojans, spywares. Zero-day attack is another attack. I think we will see. Threat actors, we can have different threat actors, DDoS, denial of service, identity theft, or a lot of security problems. And you can have internal as well as external. The external ones, you can be from viruses. Internal also, you can lose your devices, and you may have some internal in your organization or somebody who is actually you may trust him, but from internal from your network, there could be some malicious people, and they can do some nasty things to your system or to your network. So security, you have many types of solutions, but as I have told you, you cannot have as 100% secure systems. So you may use antiviruses, firewalls, software-based or hardware-based firewalls for protecting your system. You may use, for example, dedicated firewalls, access control lists, intrusion prevention, IPS, intrusion detection, VPNs, virtual private networks, because VPNs are privately owned virtual networks, and no one can actually interfere in that kind of networks, VPNs.